So I think for me, one of the most challenging poses to do and adjust, maybe because I used to hate this pose, is twisting triangle.
Yeah.
So let's do that one since we're in the category of twists. So Ruby, come into twisting triangle, wonky, just like maybe without a block and spine rounded and legs not square. And so here, again, I'm going to start at the root. So my first intention is to square her hips. So I'm going to come in. The way I like to adjust twisting triangle is like I did for you in pyramid. So point these to the middle a little more. Either reach in and roll that thigh inward, and then actually brace her leg, squeeze it, like sandwich it in between my knees. And then I like to hook my hand into this thigh crease to draw that hip back. How's that?
No, that's a big
Is it too much?
No,
Okay.
it's a really big stretch.
So that might be enough, because that opened it right up for her. Because when you square, it gives that extension. Okay. Or say you can switch. Say I did that and her hips are square. To adjust the twist, I'm going to come around, whichever leg is back, I'm going to approach from that side. And come in. Again, this one depends. If her back is rounded, so go ahead and round. I'm going to hook my left hand into her left hip, draw that back, and I'm bracing her right hip with my left hip. If I feel pretty comfortable with Ruby like I do, I actually reach under and grab her. I'm grabbing her right rib cage with my left hand, because that's where the twist wants to initiate. Inhale, exhale. So going from the root up to the top. So I went from legs to hips to core turning, then to arm.
Wow, that was really
Was that good?
Okay.
For people where I don't feel, okay, one, big-breasted women, I'm not going to do that because it's pretty likely I'm going to grab a boob, you know? So either big-breasted women or if I just don't know the person that well, instead, switch. You can do the other side if you want. Yeah, other side. Instead of reaching way under and grabbing her rib cage, I'm going to brace this side of her rib cage. I'm going to bring my head on the inside of her arm. And I might bring my hand onto this rib cage. Inhale, exhale, and I'm going to open her towards me. How's that, Ruby? Did one feel deeper than the other?
I guess the first one felt
Yeah.
deeper because you got more in there.
Right, yeah. So they're both good. The first one's a little more intimate and gives that full.
Could you, when you're like getting their leg, could you do some kind of thing?
Yeah, you can do it from there too. So I find this to be, like, I like to have my body here to brace, but if this is really what you're going for, then you can keep the leg sandwiched and give them, this is more of a feeling cue, you know, to show them what they're going for. Yeah, definitely. So this I would use for people that tend to go wonky in the hips or have unstable SI joint. I'm going to stay here. But for people that have like sensitive low back or their hips are pretty square but they're just so tight here, then I'm going to brace myself here to help them open. Yeah. Do you want to try it?
Do you want to fill that real fast, Kelly?
Oh yeah. Maybe Ruby can do it on Kelly. Okay. Yeah. So,
Okay, so the first one is
first do unsquare hips, like, yeah. It's hard to do it.
Kind of did the hand thing here, right?
Mhm.
Or, and then you sandwiched.
Yep.
And then what was the thing you did?
And then she doesn't need it too much, but I hook my hand in that
Is that
right
right?
hip crease and pull it back. And see how that automatically deepens her, yeah.
Okay, right hip crease.
The other thing I'll do is often it's not too much for her, but sometimes this hip's way higher. So sometimes I'll say, lift this hip into my hand. Yes. And keep
then-
that, and then, yes.
Oh, that's a good idea. Okay. Lift this hip into my hand. Okay, and then the next one was we were supporting their bottom in the cage,
Mm-hmm.
and then you come in here.
Yep, and I usually have
And then did you have the backhand here?
on this shoulder blade.
Mm-hmm. Inhale.
Oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then the one where you went deeper. You
I
were
went
like
all the
more
way and
in
grabbed
your
her
belly.
underneath the cage, like here.
And then all the way there. Holy cow.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Kelly.
I know. So again, I think I only do that one on other yoga teachers if
Right.
they're in my class. Yeah.
And then on one of them you lifted the arm.
So that's just like the icing on the cake.
That
and
felt really good when you did it.
Okay, that's just to give some length. Like some people actually throw the arm back too much, thinking that's going to take them into the twist. So sometimes I'll bring
You'll
it here.
readjust it.
And yeah. But one of the few leveraging adjustments I'll do every once in a while, if someone's shoulder's tight or they're just throwing that arm back, you can switch sides. I'll say, so say either this shoulder's really tight or they throw this arm way back. I'll say, Kelly, press your hand into my hand. Even more. Yeah. Okay. And see how that kind of stabilizes the arm bone into the shoulder socket. And then I'll say, keep that feeling as I let go. That's only a few times. And again, I'm not pushing, I'm not using her arm as leverage. I'm saying press into my hand. And that engages the arm bone into the shoulder socket. Yeah. Nice.
Do you want to practice any of that?
Ruby? Sure, yeah. Okay.
So unsquare.
Yeah, even more. In fact, do where you step this foot way over here. Cause that, yeah, this, I mean, sometimes I see that. Okay, so step your foot over here. And then I'll do that one, yep, kind of pulling back through the right hand twist. So,
And you're also putting, do you put your bottom hand on that one for that one too?
sometimes, yeah, so that would be if you wanted to stay stabilizing that leg. Or say the shoulder was tight and she's still rounded here, then I would come around, like keep, okay, yeah, come around. This hand goes on that shoulder blade, this hand on the rib cage to twist open on the exhale, yeah. Yeah, you can try it. Press into my hand. Does that feel relief?
The only thing I noticed is it's like you will jump from one to another without
So,
like,
or-
try one more time on the other.
Okay. So try the one where you come from the side here. Okay, just adjusting your spine and shoulder.
Is it like this?
So if you're doing the, I bring this hand here and this hand here, or you know sometimes way
that's right.
under. So you're,
So from the back it was here, but from
yeah. So if the intention is to roll open the rib cage, then hands there. And I think even grabbing around the rib cage, that's more of the belly, and sometimes grabbing the belly is,
Yeah, that
sensitive.
feels good right there.
and grabbing bones is easier to adjust than soft tissue. Yeah.
that was good.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Great. Okay, so we did our twists for sure. And actually, I think twists are some of the most
Ones are
complicated anyways, because it's like you're squaring here, you're opening here, you're watching the shoulder, you're, so, great. Okay, we got twisting triangle. Okay, reverse warrior, since we're standing. So, Kelly, why don't you come into reverse warrior? one actually, especially if I see the knee going in, or I know they have sensitive knees, this is one where I get low for reverse warrior. And the other thing, the reason I do this one, sometimes when people come to reverse warrior, they start to straighten this leg, which is reverse triangle. So this is where I might go. Resist me pulling you, Kelly. Yeah, keep that as I release. And then that helps them descend down into the pelvis. And then I take my hand on her waist and I'll say, breathe into my hand. And on her exhale, I'm, sliding that hand up to lengthen her side. So that would be if someone's like crunched here. That's the adjustment I do for reverse warrior. So I do the other side and maybe you can. It's hard to do with people that have a great yoga practice, you know? It's like, could you do it worse?
Resist me pulling you. Good, now keep that, and you keep one hand there.
And I'll say breathe into my hand.
Breathe into my hand, so first I'm not pushing in.
Yeah.
On the exhale.
Yeah, and it's less of a sliding. I mean, I do slide a little bit, but it's like a inhale, and I'm pressing. And then inhale, and then pressing, sliding a little more. Inhale. So it's not just a whoosh.
Right.
Yeah. Very nice. I think I practiced that one before either. So pull back, resist. Or resist my pulling.
Do you clasp your hands?
Yeah, I do. Okay, slide the hand up. Yeah, so I actually, I have where it is. And then I might slide it up, yeah. Was that ready?
Except for the thumb on the iPhone finger.
Oh,
Your thumb, I know, it is tricky, yeah. Yeah.
Keep the thumb.
Yeah, you're using your palm.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm going
Did it tickle you?
it just felt kind of like too
Diggy.
much pressure.
Okay.
Just for that one part, but the other part was good.
Great. Okay. Okay. So I think we got the specific. Oh, side angle pose. Okay.
Or triangle or
Both. Yeah. Okay. So let's do triangle on the next side, extended side angle. So we'll do this as if it was a sequence with those two poses, and I'll show you the adjustments for both because they're really
similar.
So we're going to come into triangle. I think almost all of the standing poses might come from behind, except that reverse warrior or grabbing the knee. But so for this one, I might like see her from the front and tuning into her breath. And let's do rounded. So I'm going to take the block away for now. Yeah. So first I'm looking at the feet and the legs. So sometimes these toes are pointing in or pointing out. So I'll first say you're going to point your toes straight ahead and straight to 12 o'clock. Then I'm looking at the legs. And some people tend to hyperextend this knee, or some people tend to bow the knee in. So I might say, yeah, bend your knee a little bit. Roll this side outward. This is if someone tends to bow the knee in. And I'm grabbing her thigh and rolling it externally. Then, do the one where, people stick their butt out like me. Yeah. So sometimes this will happen if you come around here, Kelly, because someone really wants to get their hand on the floor, but they don't have enough flexibility in the hamstring. So instead, the butt sticks out, the spine is rounded. So I looked at the feet, I looked at the legs, then I'll take a block, bring your hand onto the block, then I'm gonna take, usually come from here. I take this left leg and I start with my knee bent and I slide my thigh that way. And my intention is to roll that right sits bone under, and then I'm pulling with my left hand to roll the left hip open. And this is another one, you want to use the palm. So I'm not doing this, like, I would say never make claw hands. That would be another tenet, no crab hands. So I am using my full hand, but I'm doing this with the palm of my hand. Then, if that's all set, and really the tightness is in the shoulder, same thing, I'm bracing my body against hers. And one thing I have to be aware of, because I don't have a small bubble, and I'm not modest, so I've had to be aware, I'm not pushing my boobs into her, my chest. I'm using my rib cage, bracing her. So for taller guys, I have to really stand tall, and I might not pull them into me, I might use my hips more. So it's just another one of those things to be aware of. So I have my left hand on her left hip, and then I have my right hand in front of her shoulder. Okay. And then the other thing in poses like this, or Ardha Chandrasana, is I really am pulling her back and supporting her. So I don't want to just step away because sometimes people fall over. So I'll say, okay, I'm going to slowly, I won't necessarily talk them through it, but I'll slowly release my hands. I'll make sure they're balanced in their feet. I'll even keep my fingertips lightly on them as I step away. In that pose and half moon in particular. And sometimes people say, don't go anywhere, I'm gonna fall over. I'm like, don't worry, I'm gonna stay right here. So you can try it on that side.
Okay.
So do a no block, make it really funky so she doesn't work with. So you're sliding this up like that.
Did you do anything here?
So then I swivel to bring my brace her back with my hips. And I take that hand there and the left hand on the front of the shoulder, right there, and I roll her open into me. How's that for you? Great. Okay, Kelly, come to extended side angle with your elbow on your knee, and do a funky one like this.
Too much weight.
Yeah, and then like learn, and that's taking out. Yeah. Okay. So this is similar. Maybe I'll come usually from behind. Actually, sometimes. Because I'll say in this pose, slide that left shoulder blade down your back, and if there's still something like this, I'll come here and I'll go, do this. Push your left arm into your leg. Yeah. The other thing is, if someone's like this, usually have them turn that palm face up, because that allows that, yeah. And then if they don't do it, then I'll come around, and same thing like you did in the twist, I'll cup her shoulder in my hands. Like that. Okay, so for this shoulder, there's so many ways people do it. So this is actually pretty good, especially for someone with tight shoulder. It's pretty stable. I might do that. Yeah. And then keeping this shoulder blade sliding away from your ear, extend your right arm over your ear.
And you're going to help you
Yeah,
to stay in alignment once you straighten.
I'm sure you see it often when people extend their arm over there, they slide their shoulder up. So sometimes I'm just keeping this shoulder blade sliding down the back, grounded on the back. Yeah, and then this is again, stick your butt out. So this would be where I take this hip opposite of her and and I straighten that knee to roll that left sits bone under, I'm grabbing her right hip with my right hand.
And then my whole.
Isn't it amazing? If you go to the root, often it works its way up.
Just like.
Yeah. And then if it doesn't, then I'm going to take this hand here and draw her into me. Yeah. So you can switch sides and then you can do that. Do a wonky one. Here.
Okay, so what was the first thing that you did?
So first you look at
Bottom
the feet.
shoulder. Okay, oh yeah. feet.
And then this, you know, sometimes I'll do that visual cue like this. Yeah. So I'd start with the feet and tell her to point those toes forward.
You could even turn your back toes more towards the
Mhm.
right. And then press your arm into your thigh.
So do her foot first, like her right foot.
Oh yeah, sorry. Turn your right toes forwards.
Mhm.
And then, and then let's see, what did you do? You,
So, you know, if she doesn't follow the verbal or the visual cue, then the same thing we did in that twist. I'm taking this hand here, this hand here. Yeah. Because really that's her base, right? Her legs and this arm. And then
And that made my
I
butt
adjust-
come in.
It
too.
totally did, yeah. And then I
Okay.
adjust here and then work
okay,
up.
can you go back one more time?
Yeah.
Great. And then you press your leg in.
Mm-hmm.
And were you closer in?
I was, yeah. I go like, yeah,
But you're
I'm just closer, so I'm drawing her body towards mine. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then extend your arms straight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Having a hand on the
Mhm.
other is helpful.
Mhm.
And then I'll just keep my hand on her
Mhm.
foot to back away.
Yeah, yeah. That's not other people sometimes fall over. Nice.
Can I, before we move on to the next, could I try the triangle one, doing it on you real fast? Make sure I
Yeah.
have it. So why don't we try to block? And let's see, what did you do for that? You came in close, got your head in, and then,
So first, start here. So from the base, work up. So
Oh,
this,
right.
yeah,
so
this
first I'm
leg.
gonna draw my thigh to draw your leg,
Yep. Even more.
like that,
Uh-huh.
okay, and then.
And let's see, can I show you on you, Kelly? It's a hard one to, because you didn't get
That
to
was
see it.
Yeah, that was
kind
kind
of
of a hard one.
Triangle. I'm gonna stick the booty out. It's this. So I'm like that.
Okay.
And as I straighten my leg, it's that friction is kind of drawing that. So you start with your knees bent down under. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, thanks, Kelly.
So you kind of go like this, you get in close,
Mm-hmm.
you slide in,
Mm-hmm.
hip against hip, and then.
Yeah, that felt
Mhm.
similar.
Thanks.
Okay.
All right. Let's do Shavasana. So let's start with Ruby. And Kelly, I'll show you what I do, and then we can.
Because
get
I'm
together.
kind of more familiar with these, so she can see them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have two Shavasana adjustments I do. One is a quick one. If you know I'm wanting to get to a lot of people, and yeah. So this first one is the quicker one, and same thing. Like you know, we've turned down the lights, we've set the tone, and I'm